All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. Big episode today. We are going to talk about the CGC and the CSG merger. We're going to talk about a Heritage, I think it was a Heritage Mega Box that had 25 autographs in it. We had a couple big game-used jersey sales, a Wilt and a Kobe. We'll talk about that. Revolution WWE has kabooms, and there's some big sales early. The men's national team had a heck of a few days. We'll get into that and so much more. We've got Play of the Week. We've got Q&A. So we'll get into all of that. But first, we'll start with what's on your mind. Lou, we'll start with you on this fine Tuesday morning. What's on your mind?
I watched a lot of U.S. soccer this weekend. I watched a lot of the Nations Cup, or is that called the Nations Cup or just Nations?
Nations League. It's the
Nations League. Apologies. I was enjoying that over the weekend. I had a lot of free time to myself. What's up with this new striker we have, Ty?
Is it Balogun, Ty?
Ballo?
Yeah, he's a real player. I'm currently on eBay looking at sales from over the weekend.
He's on fire.
I mean, he's like a real guy.
Ty,
He's a real player.
He chose us over England.
Yes, he chose us over England.
Love
it was
it.
actually,
you know
what's funny? Yeah, we definitely stuck it to the Brits. I mean, look, the reality of the situation is he chose us over England because if he's on England, he's kind of buried. He's buried behind a couple mega stars, and if he comes to the U.S., he is the guy. You know,
he gets to prove that
Pulisic's the guy, but he's going to end up being the guy.
Wait. Lou and I have been sold the guy, propaganda once before.
Hold on. Lou, you watched this weekend. Thank you. You watched this weekend.
We were talking about Hersey Haaland in Pennsylvania.
No, stop.
Right. Take it from the guy that watched this weekend.
You weren't watching. We have so much sauce. It's insane, and it's driven completely by Pulisic. Everything we do is driven by Pulisic. So, he might not be the guy in Europe because he has to pass more and he's not in a position to score, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When he puts on the red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes, something comes over that man where he is ready to take over matches. I saw that faces.
I saw that tweet, Lou, that basically said when this guy puts on the red, white, and blue, it's a whole different person.
There's something about the stars and stripes on his chest that put him in a weird mental space where he just wants to take over games, which is what he did for the two matches that I watched.
He's Captain America.
So I take it all back about Captain America. I will keep my emotions in check when it comes to European soccer with him because I don't think he's ever going to be in a position to be that kind of guy. Ty, tell me if you disagree. But when he comes here, he's in a position to make plays. He's all over the field. He's getting in people's face. It's good stuff.
Lou, on this note, have you spent much time on Leeds being relegated and what that all means for next
me?
Year?
Everybody loves a good comeback story.
I'm not going to lie to you. Beyond the fact that I know they got relegated, I know nothing. So,
because Sheffield is.
No, I know. We flipped it. I did the classic flip. That's just what I do. That is me. If you are just listening to the show, you haven't paid attention for a long time, you don't know me very well in general, that is me to a T.
So I just wanted to you got to start thinking about that. It's a big year ahead. Premier League is going to be massive. It is summer 23. The next 3 years of football in this country, proper football, is going to be absolutely bananas. I want everyone to make note. The Balligan thing is just a start. Messi's playing in Miami. Messi is now the single highest paid by annual contract, the single highest paid U.S. athlete. He's making between 50 and 60.
Yeah, that's
on field.
Yeah. For now, for another
U.S. team, there was juice over the weekend. Let's just settle in. Also, a lot of good sales coming from that Premier League Prism. That's Balligan rookie and Arsenal kit.
That out of 5, so for 3,500 or best offer.
Some action happening.
Ty, what about old Greg Berhalter?
They brought him back. A lot of drama. There's definitely a good Netflix or Bravo show out of that between the Reinas and all this beef and drama. Why? Because he's got context. He's been around. And Captain America backs him. I kind of like the guy that was in the mix over the weekend. He's looks like a classic American coach, not a manager. He looks like a coach.
Yeah, he likes to get involved. That was clear. He likes to be involved.
Big rah guy. Like
I appreciate that.
Feels like a D coordinator for like a D1 college team.
He seems like
football.
he has the chance to be like the buddy, the Rex Ryan of U.S. soccer.
Ty, I'm gonna assuming you're. I mean, obviously we're assuming the U.S. soccer team is on the up and up, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say 2026 is gonna be really our best shot for a lot of those guys being in their prime.
We've got there's a great collection of talent that's playing over in Europe on a weekly, monthly, annual basis. That's on the team, and playing it. The home team has always fared better than expected. That's just always been the case in the World Cups, so it gives us a little boost. And in the last, we're like, get to the knockout and anything can happen. Now we're still 3 years away, but I'm just excited. There's a lot of good Premier League matches over here this summer. MLS is picking up a little bit of juice just in terms of attendance, all those things. I believe so. The Champions League is set till 2024. I think you might see the Champions League final in the U.S. in 25 ahead of the World Cup, which would just be banana land. Lou, just
why would they do
a little
that?
bit? They already do it all over Europe to promote the greatest thing since sliced bread, the World Cup in the U.S.
Maybe
over half the teams in the Premier League are owned by U.S. anyway.
No, I'm hearing you. I'm seeing the vision. That would just be wild.
It would be wild, but it could be true. I mean, could you see it in Miami? Just Hard Rock. Stephen Ross. He'd pull that thing off real quick.
Yeah, they just can't do it in Vegas because, all due respect, the crowd in Vegas was not good.
Mm-hmm.
There was no energy. We were trying to win a championship.
Speaking of Vegas, they won a Stanley Cup.
That was ugly. That series was a bloodbath. Saw Kachuk played with a broken sternum.
Yeah. Was he woke up? His brother woke him up from a nap. He's like, ah!
Just imagine playing with a broken sternum.
Those guys are ridiculous.
Pass. Anyway, that's on my mind.
Okay, yeah, I was going to.
What's on your mind after we just had 6 minutes about the U.S. men's national team?
Well, the U.S. Open over the weekend was quite a golf tournament that didn't end in the way anyone was hoping for or thinking of. LA Country Club, first time the U.S. Open's back on the West in LA in 75 years. I caught a couple good naps, during this thing because it was prime time. Saturday night, it went till 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I think that was stupid. Thoughts? Golf is not a nighttime sport.
I was into it. I was hanging out. I got to nap a little bit and then wake up, watch the last couple hours. That's what I did on Father's Day too. It's it was great. I was all for it. Other than the fact that Ricky Fowler and Rory McIlroy both blew it to this dude Wyndham Clark, that is just kind of your prototypical boring golfer, but
I saw he had some crazy odds. Some crazy odds.
Yeah. And there was some, the fairways were wide, scores were low. People were complaining a little bit. Brooks Koepka wasn't in the mix. There wasn't too much overt Saudi chatter that I saw, but that was cool.
We're real quick. That's over now. Don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah. 75% of the way of the golf majors. Last one is at Royal Liverpool, Hoyle 8 Cup in Liverpool on the water. For the British Open. That'll be cool. That was on my mind. I watched some footy as well. And then we're in snooze fest season for sports here.
I disagree so much.
We're definitely in snooze fest. I tried telling you guys that last week. I literally tried talking about that when hockey and basketball are over. It's literally snooze fest season.
I agree. But look, get me to NBA Summer League, a little Wembenyama action, and away we go.
He's not playing in the summer league, is he?
No, he's gonna come on. He's making an appearance.
In street clothes, yeah.
No, whole seat of court. Definitely seat of floor. NBA does that.
Do you think?
Does it right
do you
like
think
that.
the Spurs will stop him? Was the summer league what Chet was playing against LeBron in, where Chet tore his ankle or did whatever he did, where he's out for the year?
Yeah,
LeBron was playing in the summer league. No way.
Yeah, wasn't that who he was playing against? Was LeBron?
I don't know if LeBron did. But all these young dudes have when they came through.
Chet.
He will play in the summer league. Summer league is culture. Summer league is brand. Summer league is action. Even if he just pulls up and plays a couple. Bron played summer league his rookie year.
I'm telling you, that's who it was against.
All right, I respect you.
It was Seattle. It was his program game in Seattle. It was not the summer league.
Yeah. While defending LeBron James on a fast break during a Pro-Am game last month, Chet jumped to contest a layup and landed awkwardly, injuring his right foot. That was
Right. So
against LeBron.
not the summer
So
league.
Pro-Am
Yeah, I
is
didn't know
more
what it
in
was. I just knew it was against LeBron.
Got it.
But that's what I'm saying, Ty.
Messi's.
Like, sorry to get off topic. I'm assuming, don't know for sure, assuming the Spurs are going to be like, hey, no Pro-Am stuff.
Maybe no Pro-Am stuff, but sanctioned NBA Summer League. Summer League is like a hot thing now, and they're trying to build it as a big property. He'll probably get some bands to play in it, but he'll play no matter what. Maybe not no matter what, but I'm confident he will make
And
an
I thought he
appearance.
just signed
Maybe
with
1-2 games, then he'll have a little tweak in the groin or something. Classic, shut him down.
And he just signed with Nike.
He did just sign with Nike. Messi's debut will be July 21st in a home match against Mexican soccer club Cruz Azul.
That's 5 days before the National.
Yep. They also just are closing in on signing his former teammate Sergio Busquets from Barcelona. So they're building a real little squad down there.
That dude, I remember playing in FIFA with that dude, Ty. Like, always called him my guy Biscuits. Slowest dude in the game all the time. Slower than slow.
Slow, tall, long, lanky, but just
has the stats in FIFA, but
tactical
slow.
magician.
Slow.
You
You don't want him on your squad.
He distributes the ball over here. You know, that's what I got. Those are the things that are on my mind. I actually sold some cards on eBay over the weekend, and I'm excited to be back in the transactional market, trying to build up some liquid ahead of National. I got some different plays I'm trying to make. And yeah, I really want some Harry Potter autos. That's what I got. That's what's on my mind.
A bunch on my mind this morning. Working on a project in shop. We'll probably talk more about it later. But gonna make some changes to the shop for the better. But will involve closing the shop for a few days. So going to be working on that later this week. Hopefully close, do a little grand reopening. So I'll talk more about it on social, but working on some stuff around that. It's a crazy week because while we have to film content to announce that, talk about it, then film the actual project itself, then reopen and do that, all while it's a busy summer, short-staffed, national, baby, a lot of moving parts at the moment. So probably the busiest weeks of the year for me right now. Just trying to get ahead on so many things while being shorthanded and having major. I mean, we're going to close the shop for 2 days and do some real projects. So
construction work or just inside layout or what?
Yeah. Not so I'll talk more about it, but we're going to rip up the card bar. We're going to rip the entire thing out. Put in some showcases. I'll talk more about it on social,
Nice.
But for us, it's just got to be able to get more singles out and, improve customer experience and be able to offer more and more. And, this is how we do it. The card bar is really cool. And it was a really unique thing we had built for the shop, but just doesn't really allow for, the amount of singles we want to put out for sale. It's just all countertop, right? So it's kind of what you can fit on a countertop rather than what you can stack vertically. And when you run out of space, to go horizontally, you've got to be able to stack vertically in the same amount of square footage. So for us, it's being able to get out more in the same amount of space. And this is how we do it. So there'll be other things that we do as well. Other changes and other things that are going to happen, but it's really going to be a pretty big undertaking. So managing a lot of those things while everything else in life is going on, it's a little bit of work. So working on that. Shout out to everybody who reached out last time. Though we talked about what's on my mind was the price of formula and buying all that stuff. I was absolutely amazed about the amount of DMs I got about like, hey, do this, hey, check out this, and I was like, man, this is I've done cards for a long time. I know a lot about those, but fatherhood is not something I'm very well versed in, obviously. So shout out to everybody who reached out last time about baby formula and diapers and all of those things. So yeah, it was very much appreciated. So that was pretty cool.
So
and I will say the shop has I try to give insight into the shop and that kind of stuff where I can, because we obviously see it on a daily basis. But man, the shop is hot right now. Baseball product is really, really moving for us. That's been a big seller. But I think with kids out of school, like it's back to being busy quite a bit now. Like it's it has picked up tremendously, very, very quickly with kids out of school. So I'm really
And
thinking
what products are they coming in looking for?
Series 2 is a really big mover for us right now. Series 2 baseball, right? Volpe,
A lot of good rookies.
Yeah, it's got some guys in it, so that's been really hot. It's cheap, like it's not super expensive, so that's been a really big mover for us. We had some Father's Day packs, did some promotions with that kind of stuff. That'll be big.
Did they put Ellie in Series 2?
No, nope, wasn't called up until after it was released. It'll probably be an update, but we'll see.
There's a lot of good rookies in baseball right now, like hitters too, like Josh Jung, Corbin Carroll, obviously, Ellie. Like there's a lot of good guys right now.
How about outside of baseball?
For us, it's football, baseball, and Pokemon. That's like our big movers. Like Upper Deck Ice Hockey's was a new release last week. That was really, really hot. We moved a lot of that.
No Bedard in there, right?
No, Bedard's not out yet. And we talked about it in the intro, but like WWE Revolution's been really hot because it's got kabooms in it. It's really affordable. It's like it's under $150 a box, and you can chase kabooms in Galactic. So that's been hot. So you really got this, like, typically, again, in the 4 years I've been open, like the summers have typically, especially pre-COVID, were slower. Like they were a time where like you have the off season of football, off season of basketball, off season in hockey, baseball's in the heart of the season. So like it's typically a slower time. People are taking vacations. Now it's kind of like the opposite. People are getting ramped up for the end of the year. There's good product releases because of the delay in the calendars. So like you really have got like Select Football just came out. It's on fire in time right now. It's not normal to what we're used to seeing. So that's been different. And the Cincinnati Reds are the hottest team in baseball.
Really?
Lou, I'm not going to talk too much stuff because you always say wait till October. The Reds just swept Lou's Houston Astros. They're winners of 9 in a row as of last night. They're good. Again, I'm not gonna.
They are good.
I'm not gonna bet on who's gonna win the World Series and it being the Cincinnati Reds. I would love to see them make the postseason. That would be cool. Like Reds haven't been really good in a while. But to beat the Houston Astros and to win 9 games in a row now, like it's cool. They're electric. The Reds are a lot of fun to watch, man. And I'm sure it's having an impact on baseball sales. Matt McClain's really looking good. I think he's led the majors since he got called up in hits. Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, a lot of positive vibes right now.
Hell yeah.
If you want to do a baseball update, like I can go through a baseball update for you, but I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah, Lou, like
Yankees are just terrible, right?
Every team that you think is good is actually bad. Yankees, Dodgers, Astros, Red Sox are not very good either. So like your typical teams are not very good, but your Reds.
How about this one? Where are the Angels?
Angels are trash. They're worse than the Astros.
Like they're just still hanging out in the
they'll be fighting for the play-in spot.
And how's Ohtani playing?
The best.
He's far and away the MVP.
Best player in baseball by a mile. He leads the Angels. I saw this stat on the other day, Ty. He leads the Angels in almost every statistical category for pitching and batting.
That's so cool.
But they stink. It's just like
I know it's sad, but it's cool.
Lou, a year from now, is Ohtani on the Angels?
I don't think so.
Because he wants to win?
Lou, who's the front runner as of today?
To get Ohtani?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. I think it's going to be heavily dictated by his representation. That's what it's been sounding like. And a lot of people
heard they're Yankee fans.
No, they're Mets fans, actually. There's a lot of Ohtani to the Mets energy, from what I understand. Jay would know better than me. I haven't stayed that close to it, to be honest.
I'm seeing Dodgers, Padres, Giants, Mariners, Mets, Cubs, Yankees, Rangers.
West Coast seems super likely, but I wouldn't say Yankees is on the table because they need a lot more than just Ohtani.
Yeah, they got him at 7. That's just a SEO play to add him on this list, it feels like.
Yeah, so to win the AL MVP right now, you could take Ohtani minus 500 or anybody else, and it's plus 340.
Oh, my goodness.
To give you a little bit of perspective.
He's really good.
Speaking of really, really good, I saw Eric Whiteback tweeted.
I thought you were Aaron Rodgers.
About a Topps Heritage box. The tweet says, loaded Walmart boxes. 2 collectors who bought the new 2023 Topps Heritage Walmart mega boxes pulled over 25 autographs each in a single box. It appears an error in the production process has resulted in some boxes being absolutely loaded. So there's a picture of one of them. It's got Joey Votto red ink, Drew Waters auto, Steve Garvey auto, Luis Ortiz auto, Shane Bieber auto, Bo Naylor auto, Adley Rushman auto, Oswaldo Peraza auto, Kyle Schwarber auto, like Moreno red ink, Tristan Casas auto, like Vaughn Grissom auto,
Tristan Cassis,
that guy. I mean, the list of people like that he got autos in one box. That's insane.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy.
That's just one of those good luck things, right? Is anyone mad about that? I would hope not.
I think it's like, I like the idea. Like, I'm sure this wasn't intentional. I would love to know if it was. I think
It
that would
definitely
be cool.
wasn't.
I think it's a cool thing to do.
Every once in a while, just load up a box. I don't hate it either.
Have a hot box in hobby.
I'm not mad at a hot box.
You get a blaster box, and every blaster will have an auto in every pack. 10 autos a box.
I feel like people aren't going to like that, but I don't hate a hot box.
You add chase to retail, and I mean, like, that's to me, I'm like, I love the loaded, absolutely crazy banana. Like, did you guys see the pack? I think I saw it on TikTok. Guy was ripping a pack of Optic Hobby. Jay Cord, I don't know if you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, had like 5 downtowns in the same one pack. Garrett Wilson, Olave, Malik Willis, and 2 others. Same pack, 5 downtowns in one pack of cards. Like, that's so cool.
I think we need to bring back, it's like, oh, that like they just got lucky. That's kind of cool. We don't need to hate on it.
Yeah, I think it's a cool thing. I think it would be something neat to add to the product.
I like it.
I don't disagree at all.
So, I think it would be cool. Either one of you guys.
A scratch off that has multiple
exactly, like where everything's a winner.
Best. I love a scratch off.
You're like, ooh, $5. Ooh, $15.
Yeah, the best.
Did you guys? I know Jay Record put it in chat this week. See much of the sales with the big game used jerseys?
Yes.
I think Rob G bought one of them. What did he buy? The Wilt?
Kobe.
He bought the Wilt and the Kobe, I think.
Oh, did he buy both?
He's got a lot of stuff. I'll say that.
I thought he went on a little spree.
Kobe and Wilt, Jay says.
Wow, Kobe and Wilt. I didn't see the Kobe. I was trying to pull up. Jay, do you have the link of that? I was trying to pull it up. I thought we had it in chat or in the thing here. I was looking at it the other day.
It's just very funny for like Court to make a video about this game used jersey, and Rob's like, "Yep, I bought that."
Didn't you like the Wilt did like what 1.7?
I'm not sure. I don't know off the top of my head.
Jay sent it to me. All right, here it is.
Epic pieces.
Oh wow, you bought a big Kobe jersey.
It was from the finals. It's crazy.
We're gonna have him on in a couple weeks.
Wow, 462K.
And the thing I'm most interested in is like, are these on display in his crib?
Like, are you locking these up? Like, what?
Does he vault them, or are we like in the boys' room at the crib?
I'd be petrified to display those.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. But
I think about that with like art and all that stuff all the time. Like, if you had a $10 million painting, you don't display that $10 million painting unless you're uber wealthy.
You might.
Guys, Rob was in our DMs last night, and he was curious to know. He put a question because we had the question thing. His question was, he was curious on your thoughts on the price, $1.79 million for his Wilt rookie jersey.
Do we know what the most expensive Wilt card ever was? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say it'd be hard to know without putting it in context, but
yeah,
I feel like in general, it doesn't get much more limited than a Wilt game used jersey.
Rookie year jersey, I think.
Rookie year jersey. How many of those are there? There can't be more than 2.
Can't be many in general.
So I would generally say I'm aligned. I would like to know like price point.
Those are probably in museums, not in private collections. Like in
the Hall of Fame, right?
I would love to know when the last time any Wilt jersey was available and how many have ever sold publicly. I can't imagine it's more than a handful ever, yet alone a rookie jersey. I mean, that's got to be as good as it gets for like all-time basketball collectibles. Like, I mean, some of the recent ones too have been crazy. Like, I mean, Kobe Finals jersey is obviously crazy. Game 1, I saw that what Court was talking about, $462K with buyer's premium for Kobe. It was used Game 1 during his 5th Finals. obviously Kobe basketball legend. The Jordan Flu Game shoes. I think that's a really, really cool piece. I think that's one that's like that's a pretty special piece. I know that sold on Golden. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's insane.
So some really cool pieces, but 1.7 million. That's what a buy.
Right. To answer your question, the most expensive Wilt Chamberlain card of all time, PSA 9, 1961 Fleer, sold for $340,000.
Wow.
So this is 4 times as much.
Oh, 5 times as much.
Not a math guy. 5 times as much. That's pretty.
Here's some Wilt numbers. 1955 Mr. Basketball USA. He's got his number 13 jersey retired by Kansas, Lakers, Sixers, Warriors, and the Harlem Globetrotters. He was the NCAA tournament most outstanding player in 57, 2-time All-American in college 57 and 58. He's got the most rebounds in one game at 55. He's got the most points in one game at 100. He is the NBA assist leader in 68. He's the 11-time NBA rebounding champion, 7-time NBA scoring champion, rookie of the year in 60, 2-time all-defensive first team, 72 and 73, 3-time all-NBA second team, 7-time all-NBA first team, all-star game MVP in 60, 13-time all-star, 4-time MVP, finals MVP in 72, and 2-time NBA champion in 67 and 72. He averaged 30 points a game and 22 rebounds a game and 4 assists. He averaged 30 and 22.
A little light work.
Some light. There's a Kansas jersey that sold last year, a signed Kansas jersey from 1957, sold for $490K.
This is clearly a big sale on this.
Collectible app had a uniform from his rookie year that they were selling shares at a valuation of 1.2 million. Also,
I think it's a great play. I love it.
I mean,
look, I've never bought something for 1.79, but if I was, it's a good play.
$1.79 million is so much money.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
so
crazy.
much money, guys.
That's a lot. That's a few dollars.
Congrats to Rob. I'm looking forward to
congrats
having
to
him
Rob.
on and picking his brain about some things. The first question I'm going to ask is, where is this thing displayed?
Yeah, I just want to pick his brain on like what he what's his like mindset when he's buying these things. Is he thinking about it in terms of like a 40-year investment? Is he thinking about hanging it up at his house? So yeah.
All right, let's get into questions. We got a lot of them this week, a ton of them. Again, if you guys want to submit questions, Jay and Court typically solicit questions a day or two before the show goes live. So just make sure you guys check us out on IG. It's just Card Talk Pod, Facebook, Twitter as well. But wanted to put it on there in case anybody's interested in submitting questions because we got a lot of them. Let's see. Anybody have anything? Let me see. This is a good question. Ty, I know you're a big basketball guy. JE_LeBron collector. Do you think the Beal CP3 trade benefited the Suns much or at all?
Do I think the Beal trade benefited the Suns? I do. I think CP3 is aging, and I think it's hard to win. You got to be really fit to win in the playoffs. I think Beal is a top-tier NBA All-Star that's been stuck in a crappy franchise. I think you lose the veteran leadership of CP3 a little bit. I mean, they're going to have to do crazy things in free agency to like build around. And I think it's really hard. I mean, look, the Nuggets just showed that core of that team has been together for years. It's hard to win an NBA chip, especially
Celtics are a good
to just
example too.
fill in around. And I think that's what LeBron's been trying to do of late, and it proves tough. But you got KD, you got Devin Booker, and you got Bradley Beal on one basketball team. We've seen these experiments before, Brooklyn, other places. But it's hard to think that they won't be a formidable opponent with those three cats. And Ayton's still on the roster, but I'm pretty
He's
sure.
For now, he's gone.
When is it appropriate to have the KD conversation about how he's kind of like lied to everybody his entire career?
Well, how's he lied to everybody?
Ty's a big KD guy. You're picking
As am I. I've been a big KD guy for a long time.
I like KD a lot. KD a lot.
There's been a lot of
The
energy
narrative-
about
the narrative stuff.
I'm just a basketball player and making fun of Chuck because he had the super teams and all he does is form super teams, but they're not even very good super teams. So like that's kind of a conversation that I think could be had.
I mean, I think we should highlight KD's teams: Draymond, Clay, Steph, Kyrie, Harden, obviously KD, Beal, Booker, and him now. I mean, interesting.
I mean, how about what he did with the Thunder for like 5 years?
Russell Westbrook, James Harden.
That was dope. And then the minute it was in his own control, it's been a little bit crazy ever since. Just saying.
I get it. I like the man. I like watching him hoop. I hope.
So do I. I think he's
the
awesome.
best for them. One of my really good friends, Nate, is a huge Suns fan. But yeah, I mean, I don't got much.
What
That's
else are
why
you
I
gonna
like
do
what the
though
Knicks
for
are doing right now. I like the Knicks. They're just taking steps. Let's not get too crazy. The Knicks are building a
Until
foundation.
they trade for Zion,
Or MPJ. I really hope Zion does not.
Speaking of Zion, we got a good question. Sean Haywood, 15.
let's put a parental advisor on this question. I don't know what's coming
For
here.
the NBA draft, will Zion or Dame be traded leading up to the draft or during the draft?
I think Zion gets traded.
Sounds like Zion might be on his way out.
Yeah. Out of the league or out of the New Orleans?
Out of New Orleans. We'll see how he fares in the league.
I mean, I know we're not going to talk a lot about it. This is a very PC show. But we're 5 years away. We're 5 years removed from Zion and Ja being top 2 picks, being a really highly anticipated draft class. It was more highly anticipated than the Luka Trey one. Really probably the biggest one in recent memory leading up to this draft with Victor, Scoot, and Brandon Miller. It was a big deal, man. Like, we talked a lot about it when it happened, about Zion being one of the biggest things all time. Like, he had games recorded in 8th grade. Like, everything was Zion in high school. Then he goes to Duke. He's the biggest thing in the world, blows out of the shoe. Like, this dude was supposed to be awesome. And what has happened with Ja and Zion in the last 6 months, 7 months is just, it's wild to see where they were and where they are now. It's very interesting. I mean, Ja got 25 games. We haven't talked about that. Like, I said it was going to be half a season. You know, Jay was full season. Like, we talked a lot about it, but Ja got 25 games.
And the leak was that the league is up, like, he thinks everyone's against him.
The crazy thing, so Zion, to be frank, I always thought, as someone that's human body developed way late, like, to me, he was ready to play in the NBA when he was a junior in high school, senior in high school. Like, that was his peak, like, maturity of body, and I think it's degrading since. I also think the amount of hype, the amount of everything he's gotten can leave a human less incentivized to care unless you're really driven by championships.
Ben Simmons.
Yep. But Ja, I'm going to say this. In a weird way, 3 years from now, I think Ja could still be a superstar in the league and flip the script and narrative as a positive thing towards his image and how he's respected.
Interesting.
If he cleans it up, you mean?
If he plays good basketball and makes impact and gets to the finals and whatnot. Yeah, if he cleans it up. If he doesn't clean it up, he's out the league. But if he cleans it up, I think this moment in time actually might further weirdly cloud him and give him another platform of, like, doing good, turning things around, even though it's not like, I think.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. I'm just thinking,
as it stands right now, who's more likely to be a Hall of Famer?
Ja Morant.
Neither.
I think Ja Morant is more likely, but
yeah.
I also think that I just want to say this is a prime time example of why everybody needs to just chill out a little bit, because we get too high on these guys, myself included. We get way too high on these guys before they've done anything. Zion has like a $200 million contract. He hasn't played in like a year and a half.
Yeah, that's wild. Makes sense.
And you're right, Ty. These guys don't have the incentive to care unless they're motivated by championships. And at least for me, I'm going to try to think more about who has this person been on the court, and that'll affect how I think about them in card standpoint, not so much potential and upside, because potential and upside rarely come to fruition.
Daniel Holmes, 89. If you could attend one sporting event in history, what would it be?
that has happened?
That's already occurred?
I'm assuming that's what the card doesn't say, but I'm assuming yes. Let's just play it like if you could have been there, what would you Ty, would you have been to Ohio State, Penn State?
No. I mean, I was at Ohio State, Penn State when we won and blocked the field goal and stormed the field.
That's what I meant. I didn't know you were there. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, I was there. I was on the field with Jake. Yeah, we were drinking beers on the field after the game. I have grass from the game in my apartment. We were one of the last people to leave the field afterwards. That's a great story. Was it 6 of us that went? Zach, Jake, Greg, my dad. Everyone left. We were down 9, and it was pouring at halftime, and it was a night game. So we had been drinking since pretty much 9 a.m., and my boys left. My dad, my cousin, and my 2 boys. It was 6 of us that went to the game. Only me and Jake stayed.
That's awesome.
To this day, it's like devastating.
Oh, you have that over them forever
for the rest of our lives.
Oh yeah.
There's like a photo on the field. They've all photoshopped themselves into it.
That's very cool.
So that game was epic. Otherwise,
Christian Hackenberg NFL draft or
nah, it's got to be some form of probably World Cup. Like it's got to be a World Cup final. This past World Cup final.
Oh, the Messi,
the Messi and Mbappe.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching Messi win that World Cup, those moments after that match was crazy. I don't even think people have yet to digest what that was as a sporting occasion.
2015 Ohio State, Alabama Sugar Bowl. Yep, for sure, not even a question.
I think I would pick WrestleMania 19, Stone Cold versus The Rock. Iconic match.
That's nice. Hey, can we give a quick shout out to that homie that did those mock-ups, those concept pieces?
Yes, we should.
Of the cards. What was his account?
Smack him on the screen.
Bradley Jack Design.
Bradley Jack Design.
Those were like A+ quality cards.
Yeah, those were sick. Those were sick.
I mean, like, look at this card.
Yeah.
Like the one he did of the triple and the tennis and the aloof flawless, like Jordan and Altuve.
That was literally exactly what I was picturing, by the way.
I mean, look at this card.
I know.
Sick.
Could you imagine what that card would sell for in the open market?
That card would go bananas. All of them would.
I would pay unlimited dollars for this Jordan Jose Altuve card.
That card is disgusting.
With the World Series patch in it? Come on.
Look, Penn State hasn't won in a while. I thought in the last 5 years there was a Heisman winner at Ohio State.
No, last one was Troy Smith. A lot of them were finalists. Haskins was, Stroud was twice.
Troy Smith.
Oh Troy Smith's the one that was on the bench like this at Penn State. I'm devastated.
All right, you guys got any questions?
Yeah.
Here's a good one. I think you can provide some perspective on. P-Bird Cards. Who's the next best baseball prospect? Or who's the next best prospect in baseball to buy that could be called up next?
Like I've been saying recently, I'm not the most dialed in on prospects anymore. So if you have thoughts in the comments, you should drop them below right now. Or if you're listening on podcasts, leave a review with your thoughts. That'd be super cool. We would appreciate that. But I would say probably Marcelo Mayer, the Red Sox prospect, and then the other guy would be Jackson Holiday, but I don't think he'll be out till next year.
I remember when I met with Blaze and we did some card content, I was like, hey, who's good? Who'd you play against? And he talks very, very highly of Marcelo Mayer. Marcelo
Mayer is a supreme baseball talent.
Yeah, Blaze talks a lot about him.
Yeah, that's who I would pick. Let's do some football questions. Thoughts?
Yeah, what do you got?
Yep.
Chris Olave versus George Pickens. That's from Alejandro.
Olave.
I think this is an interesting question. I'm not so sure it's Olave.
I think Olave is the safer play. I think Pickens has more upside.
Do you trust Derek Carr to lead Chris Olave into the next phase of his career? Because I don't.
Derek Carr's not a bad quarterback. You trusting him over Kenny Pickett with?
I was about to say, don't even get me started.
You know how Ty feels about KP2 gloves.
Yeah, he's not a big Kenny guy. I get that, but I like Kenny a lot, so that's also a part of it. Maybe that's affecting my answer here. I just really like Pickens.
I'm gonna say, look at the divisions that they play in this. They play in Pittsburgh with the Ravens, Bengals, and Browns.
Yeah, they could be losing a lot. They got to throw.
Yeah, I mean, Saints playing a dome with the Panthers, Buccaneers, and Falcons. Like, yeah, I don't know. Olave's like he's a pro's pro. Like he's not one of those flashy. I told you guys this when it happened. Like Garrett Wilson's like OBJ. He's got all of the upside in the world. He's flashy. He knows he's the best. He's a star, and he's got that wide receiver mentality. Chris Olave is like a pro's pro. Like comes up to work like Larry Fitz. Like pro's pro isn't a flashy guy. Like just star.
That's
like,
Ryan Johnson comparing Chris Olave to Larry Fitzgerald.
No, and the type of personality, not that
I'm
like
joking,
he's gonna be
Ryan.
the top 5 wide receiver all time, but
I do think Olave is a very talented wide receiver. I just get worried about the quarterback play.
that's
There's
fair.
some good.
But
other
by the way, Olave is a big fantasy guy this year. Everyone's really in on Olave. I've started my research.
I'm on the Garrett Wilson train. I'm sure I'll talk more about that in a
Can't
future
imagine
episode.
why. Ty, you got a question?
Boys, yeah. From Card Collector M. What is the card that you sold that you wish you would have back?
Wow.
Mahomes and T autos for sure.
Card I sold that I wish I could have back. There's so many.
Alcindor PSA 8.
Yeah, I've never sold anything that I couldn't get back. So I'm trying to think. Maybe like one of my red cheeks. I sold the red cheeks. I probably would not have sold that.
Nice.
I would like to have held on to that.
Yeah.
Real quick, before we move on to play of the week, I know we've got that coming up this week. We didn't talk about it much. Have you guys read much about the CSG and the CGC combining?
Yes, a little bit.
It says that in July, they will combine CGC trading cards and CSG into CGC cards. This is from Sports Card Investor. It says collectors who would like to reholder their card with the new CGC card labels can do so for $5 until September 30th of this year. For cards valued under 10K, cards graded to Gem Mint 9.5 or receive the new Gem Mint 10.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea. Seems like they're the biggest competitor. Now, take this with a grain of salt. They seem to be the most put together competitor to Collectors Universe in terms of they're doing video games, they're doing magazines, they're doing sports cards. Most companies are just doing sports cards or just cards in general, like Pokemon and sports cards, but they seem to be combining their offerings, which is interesting.
That's probably a fair assumption or a fair assessment. And get behind that. I've never graded with them. It's not a company I've used. I don't really consider them in the big 3 at the moment. So I'm intrigued by it. They're obviously a big enough company. I think they're, certainly bigger than some of the, like whatever would come next after those guys. So I'd be interested to check it out. Is this the one that does Fanatics own a piece? Isn't there like one of these companies that like Fanatics owns a piece of? Like, wasn't this used for like eBay?
Ruben.
He owns a
Ruben
piece of this.
Yeah. With like BlackRock. I think Jay-Z's in on it too. It might not be BlackRock.
Blackstone,
right? Yeah. Blackstone. Yeah, but I don't think it's through Fanatics. I just think Ruben's like
Gotcha.
get a little personal.
Yeah, and like I would like to know the involvement level, because wasn't it just one of the, and I don't know how this stuff works, so maybe I'm wrong. Actually, Tyler, you could probably provide some insight here. When there's like a celebrity round of investment, right? Like that's an example of it's like Ruben, it's Jay-Z, I think like Iguodala was involved. Like how does that all work? Is it they have a bunch of involvement? Is it partly like to get the name brand recognition?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, sometimes you can just like they'll give equity and points for joining the board, or
like Jay's not sitting in the meeting where they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do Gem Mint 10." That's not happening.
No, I have no clue, but they could have said, "Hey, Jay-Z, if you say you're part of this, we want to put you on the cap table. Can we give you 1 point of our company?
Yeah.
In exchange, you let us say that Jay-Z is part of the company, or hey, Michael Rubin." Once a quarter, we get 90 minutes with you in your office for an advisory session. You get 2 points of the company, or you get a half a point, or whatever it's valued at. Those things happen very much so. It's something I think about a lot. It's, social capital, like rather than pure investing, and social media has allowed that. Like, oh, you post once a quarter and tag us, we'll give you X amount. Smart business there.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right, play of the week, Tom. We didn't do it last week, and just for some clarity here, I know we haven't talked much about it. We are actually going to take the next 2 weeks off, so we will not have one the next 2 weeks. We will be back. We'll do some stuff leading up to the national. We'll talk about some of the national, tips and tricks. We've done that in the past. We'll have play of the week, over under. We'll bring a lot of those things back when we come back. But we are going to take 2 weeks off here, a little summertime intermission. So we'll be back just in time for the national. But we've got 4 plays as we wrap up the show this week. So let's see what we got, Jay.
Nice.
Brock
Brock is back.
Motor City Rips. He says, back on April 19th and 20th, I decided to go on eBay and buy a few singles. With 23 NFL draft approaching, I figured it was a good time to look. Came across a well-centered Purdy from this year's contenders, which I bought for $750. Also picked up a mislabeled Trevor Lawrence tie-dye rookie, which was labeled color match, when in fact it was jersey match, 16 of 20. And a case hit. I purchased this for $550. Submitted 15 cards to PSA, including these 2, and all 15 came back 10s. The PSA order shipped back to me on May 24th, and I immediately listed the Purdy and Trevor on eBay auctions. After a week, the Purdy sold for $16.25 and the Trevor for $9.65 for a total of $25.90. For these 2 cards, I paid $1,300. After eBay taxes and fees, I netted $981.54. Thanks for all you do. Love the podcast. That's how it ends.
PS, go blue.
15.
Thank you, Motor City Rips.
Go blue. Is that a Michigan?
15 of 15, yeah, 15 for 15 is insane on a PSA sub these days.
I agree.
That never happens.
Did you just say
Ever.
thank you as in like you were aligning with Michigan?
Me?
Yeah.
I was just being supportive to Motor City Rips because Ryan decided to skip over the go blue part.
Yeah, you'll never hear me.
Gotcha.
You'll never hear me say
didn't know
that.
we were saying thank you, like thanks. for
Lou's
saying
also
blue.
a closet Michigan fan. Remember when we first started the podcast, he liked Michigan and then switched to Georgia when they were losing.
I'm
and
so
then,
sick of explaining this over and over.
Listen,
again.
I wasn't
goes
going
to
there.
the
I just
school.
wanted. I think you still can claim a little bit of Michigan fandom. That's all.
I
and I
don't.
like it. I like it. I want you to, so we can balance it out. Now you got fucking Jay over here claiming he's a Buckeyes fan.
yeah, what you guys missed.
Craziest
Yeah,
thing
that
I've
was
ever heard.
crazy.
You guys missed it. Jay came in to the chat and was basically like, "Hey, I've never talked about this, but I was actually liked Ohio State when I was younger." So
He's
Jay's
like, I got photos.
It upset Tyler.
Tyler was very
Yeah.
angry.
Tyler
Miss me with
was
this.
upset.
Shit.
So
Great
back to
play.
the play.
I like the play.
I can't
Go 15 for
believe
15 on 10s is insane.
I can't believe that happened. I can't believe Brock Purdy is 750 raw.
And 16.25 for a 10. That's just
It's a great job at Motor City Rips. That's knowing your audience. That is knowing the marketplace. I would never in my life, and that's no disrespect to anyone involved, I would never in my life spend $750 on a Brock Purdy card.
I'm going to miss the fact I've been really for the last 55 minutes thinking about how much I'm going to miss the recording this show for the next 2 weeks as we take a break. But there's the fact that this play just got submitted and people talk about the hobby being slow or dead or down or any of that is like.
I mean, what 15 for 15.
It is all right there.
It
is all right there. Back on April 19th and 20th, 2023.
2 months ago.
8 weeks ago. He just decided to go on eBay and buy a few singles and made money. A good amount.
There. He's got to get focused.
All right, what's next, Jay? Queen City breaks. For all the talk of this is literally what Tyler just said. Sorry, that's funny. With all the talk of how down the card market is, I just want to say that you can always find things to flip. Keep your heads up, Card World. About 2 years ago, I read Baseball America Idol article about Tigers prospect named Colt Keith decided to invest. Spent $950 on a variety of first Bowmans.
Sorry, 250.
Yeah, sorry, $250 on a variety of first Bowmans, including a black, some purples, and a sparkle. This week, I sent them into consignment for DC Sports. After fees, I netted $500. Profit of 300% in a down market. Lou, I don't know who this is.
No idea. Couldn't tell you.
Colt is such a good name for like an athlete, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, he sold purple autos for $100.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Good job.
raking.
Raking? Isn't he a pitcher?
No.
Looks like he's a pitcher.
He's not. He's a hitter.
He's not. What's he throwing the ball
He's
weird
fielding.
in that?
He's fielding, guys. It's not that.
Isn't? Don't you come a little more side like that?
All right,
That
what's next?
photo? Wait,
What's
hold
next?
on, Jay. Can you get people
He's
throw the
just
ball like
fielding
that in
the
the
ball. It's
outfield?
not that hard. He plays second base.
Feels like he throws the ball weird. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I thought it was a pitcher at first.
You guys are insane. He's just fielding the ball.
I don't know. Feels like his delivery to first isn't going to be that. I don't know if I'm judging.
Next.
Yeah.
Next.
This guy.
Card Collector 1116. What's up, guys? Play of the Week submission is fortunate yet unfortunate at the same time. I was waiting for Game 1 of the Heat versus Knicks series when I saw Gabe Vincent playing solid. Huge Celtics fan and remembered him playing well last year against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals and thought there was a chance that he could be a top performer for the series. Since outside of Jimmy and Bam, the Heat don't really have any huge players scoring-wise. During the middle of Game 1 of the Knicks series, I quickly went over to eBay to see what autos he had. Found a cool-looking Flux silver auto of his for $5, which I thought was solid considering he had very few cards. Quickly bought it and hoped to resell it at some point in the series since there was the possibility that the Heat could play my Celtics. That's where it took a turn for the bad. The Heat shocked the NBA as an 8 seed, making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I still haven't received my card after 3 weeks since the purchase. The card finally shows up right after he puts up 30 points against the Celtics. Disgusted to have the card in my hands, I quickly list it on eBay and sells instantly for $28.50. Buy it now. Around a $20 ROI. Hate to make money this way, but it is what it is. Been listening to Card Talk since single-digit episodes. Thanks, guys, and be well, Alex.
That's epic.
That's funny, Alex.
First
Alex
off,
has
thank
been
you
around for a long time.
tuning in, yeah.
Part of the
That's a
coaching
nice
tree for
little
sure.
play.
For sure in the coaching tree. This is a funny play. I don't hate this. You got to get rid of it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Immediately. So, you make after fees, what do you make? Like $10?
I mean, you're not losing much on fees on that card. I mean, they pay
So
for
what, $20?
shipping.
Yeah, around a $20 ROI. So yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Around the sorrows after the loss.
Absolutely. All right, last one, Jay. What do we got? Oh, this is awesome.
Ooh.
This is funny. Brian, this is from Brian Whitesell on IG.
Ooh.
Hey guys, I've submitted a play of the. Hey guys, I've got a play of the week submission. I bought a discounted Prism UFC blaster from a Whatnot sale in March for a total of $17.20. Opened it, pulled a Patty Pimblett green Pulsar to 25, which is exactly what you're searching for. Graded it at PSA for $20 and came back at 10 2 weeks ago. For reference, the only PSA 10 sale was in September of last year for $1,700, and the most recent sale was an SGC 9 that sold for $375 on March 24th. This weekend, I was at the Midwest Monster and ended up selling it to a dealer for $900 cash. Overall, I had $37.20 into the card and sold it for $900, making my profit a staggering $862.80. Also, shout out to the whole Card Talk crew, Jay, Courtney, and Judy. Your favorite cameraman, Brian.
So I don't know who this person is. But what a play.
I'm a big fan of the play.
I love Brian. Brian's my favorite person.
It's a nice little gamble play. Went for it, ripped open some packs, kept it moving. How you doing? How you been?
A discounted UFC blaster? You guys spent $37 on this.
I know.
Yeah, so it was during a discounted retail night we ran on Whatnot. Got a UFC blaster for $15 plus tax. Opened this with his dad. He's like, yeah, I want to get a UFC blaster, rip it with my dad. Ripped it with his dad, pulls this. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I don't know much about it. Grades it, tens it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I don't follow UFC. I know Patty's a big deal. I'm like, that's got to be cool, right? A few $100. And he's like, yeah, last one did $1,700. We were at the Midwest Monster on Friday, and there's a UFC collector that really wanted it. Sold it for $900.
That's $900 cash all day.
Play.
So,
yeah.
For perspective, for those that don't know, Brian is our full-time videographer. So,
wait, really? That's a great play, Brian. Good job. All right, you want to go through these, Jay? I think I know the answer for me.
I will let you guys decide this one. I don't want to,
Yeah, you're gonna pick the Trevor one because you always do.
Mine's the first one.
I think mine's the first one also.
Ugh, I'll vote for Brian. I can't vote for Go Blue ever.
Yeah, I mean, Brian's ineligible. Let's be honest.
I agree.
I'd still vote for that one.
Mine's the first one.
All right. Well, congrats to Motor City Rips with a dub. Real quick, last but not least, a few products coming out this week. H2 Select Football, Leaf Metal Draft Hobby in Jumbo, one of my favorite products of the year. Love that product. AHL Hockey, you've got Donruss Racing, you got OPG Platinum Hockey, and then you got a Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle of the Legend Monstrous Revenge.
Wow.
Monstrous Revenge. That's a wrap. So a couple products coming out this week. Some Donruss, some Leaf Metal.
NT
Football.
coming out soon, right?
I got pushed back July.
Damn.
So that's a wrap. 2 weeks off. We'll see you guys a few weeks from now. We'll update you. A lot will happen in the next couple weeks, so we'll keep you guys posted. But that's all we got for now, guys.
Peace and love.